Hello everyone! Today I'll introduce you to 7 essential apps for creators. Even if you're not a creator and you just simply want to do something creative on your iPad, these apps will be really useful, so please check them out. It's been a year and a half since I started my YouTube channel dedicated to iPad. But even before that, I used to evaluate many apps on my own, always downloading new ones and deleting them once I didn't like them. This time I chose 7 apps that I really like, and I'll talk about them today in this video. It would be great if you could watch this video until the end. The first app is called Procreate. Many of you are probably familiar with this one. This is an app where you can create illustrations, sketches, or animation. I have a total of 70 tutorials on Procreate. They can be found in my playlist, so please check them out if you're interested. Procreate can be purchased for $12. Since it's a one-time purchase, it can be used forever once the purchase is made. Honestly, I'll get this app even if it costs $100, and that's how much I recommend this app to you guys. So if you don't have it yet, please consider getting it. Let me refer to some of the tutorials I've done before. Last year at SoftBank Nagoya branch and at Grand from Osaka, I conducted a seminar on Halloween cards and Christmas cards. They were seminars for complete beginners who wanted to learn about how to use Procreate. So if you have no experience with this app, this tutorial may be a good place for you to start. It's a video of me actually talking on stage at the seminar, so it should be very easy to follow. Using Procreate, you can also create a very realistic illustration like this, aside from simple ones. I also did a tutorial on how to illustrate a bacon egg toast and how to draw plum lips. I explain about the techniques used to give them such realistic looks. And as you get used to the use of Procreate, learning about the use of layers will be essential. For the illustration of this lip too, I use different layers to draw the lip, inside the mouth, and the teeth. Even if you think you're not really good at drawing, as long as you can grasp the use of layers, you'll be able to draw fairly well. And as long as you know how to set the layers using the mask function and drawing function, I'm sure you have no trouble reaching an advanced level. Another reason why I love Procreate is because you can create curved illustrations. For example, I created this animation of a rocket taking off by dividing layers. Another one was on the neon sign by using the right drawing mode. Like this, you can also create a neon light banner. Recently, I tried doing some chalk art with the use of chalk brush and the text function as well. As I'm showing you guys some examples, there's a variety of illustrations you can create on Procreate, and this is why I love this digital art app. Something I'm proud of myself is how I, Amity Sensei, was the one who spread Procreate across Japan. I've received a lot of positive feedback from Procreate users, so I hope to invite more people to use this app through my tutorials. The second app is Affinity Designer. I've been teaching about this app quite often. It's an app for graphic design. Using this app, you can design logos, posters, menu displays, or banners for instance. With Affinity Designer, you can use similar functions that Mac users use on Photoshop and Illustrator, but on your iPad instead. It's the most popular app out of all the other graphic design apps. To show you what I created in the past, these are banner design works. In my online community, iPadmate, I often use banners when sending out notifications, and those banners are created on my iPad. Each design is aligned as an artboard, and it can be moved freely. So if you want to create several banner designs of the same series, you can create several artboards on a single canvas. This will make it easy for you to copy and paste the same elements such as text. You can also save each artboard individually as a JPEG file. It's just like Illustrator, don't you think? If you want to use Illustrator on your iPad, the first app you should look into will be this Affinity Designer. When you create a logo again, since each design is an artboard, it can be saved individually. You can also compare within the list overall like this, so it's really handy. By the way, you can also send data from Illustrator to Affinity Designer, and I have a tutorial on how to do that as well. So please check it out if you're interested. Another design created recently is this text in a hollow effect. This can come in handy when creating titles of banners and is equivalent to the Pathfinder function in Illustrator. I also did demonstration on how to create map design, which you see a lot on posters. It can be done easily by tracing over a screenshot of a map. It's really fun, and you can learn a lot from there too. Even though I haven't created a video for this one, I've illustrated Mickey Mouse using the Path tool and the Bezier curve. I drew this just to practice, but guess what? The Mickey Mouse looks a bit ugly. But for those who have time, try drawing with a sample image on the side. For advanced users, I want you to try the pattern design. In Affinity Designer, there is a function called Symbol. By changing the design of the small box, the change is automatically reflected in the bigger box. By learning how to use this function, you can create pattern design. It could be used as background of package design, for instance. This Affinity Designer, which offers a variety of functions, can be purchased for $24. This is also a one-time purchase, so you can use it forever after your first purchase. Some of you may think it's expensive, and you may be overwhelmed with so many functions, but as long as you take the time to get used to the use of it, you can do so much on the iPad, so please challenge yourself. The third app is called Lightroom. I believe many of you have used this app before. It's an app used to edit videos or to develop raw photos that were taken by single lens refract camera. They can be saved as a JPEG or a PNG file through this app. While there are a few other apps for editing raw photos, this Lightroom launched by Adobe offers an iPad, iPhone, and Mac versions. This means that you can make changes to any images initially edited on your iPad, on other devices such as your iPhone, and then make final edits on your Mac. The image file gets automatically synced, so you can edit it from any of your devices. And this is why I find Adobe Creative Cloud useful. As for the price, it can be downloaded for free, but if you want to use more functions or the cloud function that I just talked about, you need to register for a monthly subscription. To join the Adobe Photo plan, the monthly cost will be around $10 to gain access to all the functions. So please consider if you're interested. What I also really like about Lightroom is the catalog for managing files. On the left side, you can see the folders listed in order by year, and in each file, the photos are placed by the date they were taken. This function lets you access photos that were taken a while ago quicker. When I used to write blogs in London, I took a bunch of photos during my stay there. And when I want to look back on the photos that I took back then, I can quickly access them here and paste them elsewhere. Regarding how to manage files or how to use other functions on Lightroom, I've done tutorials in my iPadmate community. So for those who are interested in learning more about it, please join my community. The fourth app is Concept, which is popular for its infinite canvas. What this means is that there are no edges on the canvas or on the note. Whether you scroll up, down, left, or right, you can keep drawing on it as much as you want. As I'm showing you right now, photos can be pasted on this canvas by using the slide over function. By launching the slide over on the right side of the screen and using your fingers to drag and drop, the photo can be pasted on the canvas. I love using this app as a sketchbook for brainstorming ideas. You could of course write text or jot down anything that comes to your mind. Another use would be to create a product sketch, as I demonstrated in one of my tutorials. By making use of the ruler function in Concept, you can draw illustration of the Apple Watch like this very nicely. I did this by simply tracing over an image. If you're interested in learning about how to do this, please check out my video. You could also draw purse sketches. Purse is a way to draw objects in perspective. If you want to sketch design for architecture, I highly recommend using that function. As for the techniques to draw purse images, I've done a demonstration in one of my iPadmate seminars. Next will be GoodNotes 5. This is a note app, and I believe it's got the most users out of all the other apps. I often edit PDF files here by uploading them and making some corrections with a red pen. Like this, you can also paste images on top, so it's really useful. I would recommend this app especially to directors who give instructions to others over those who actually create design or videos. You can be a lot more productive once you master the use of this app, so for those who work as directors especially, please try this out. I have listed several tutorials on GoodNotes 5 in the playlist, so feel free to check them out as well. Other than making corrections, you could also create design for a cute recipe note like this. And there's also a collage function by cropping images. In my iPadmate community, we had a project to write a picture diary. This was all done using this app, so please check it out if you're interested. The sixth app is called File, which is already downloaded to your iPad. This app is a must when it comes to managing files or sharing data. On the very left, there is a tab where you can register file sharing services like iCloud Drive, Dropbox, Google Drive, or OneDrive. Without launching the apps for this service, for instance, the app for Google Drive, you can access the files at once through this FileUp. This is extremely useful, making it a lot easier to manage data on the iPad. This app can also be used on a split view, and so you can have the FileUp on both the left side and right side of the screen. Having Google Drive on the left side and Dropbox on the right side will make it easier for you to transfer files from Google Drive to Dropbox simply by dragging them across the screen. This process used to be such a hassle before, but not anymore. Well, you can have the same app on both views, and you can of course choose to have different apps on the split view function. For instance, you can upload data to your camera roll by having both the FileUp and the camera roll. As I've shown you, transferring files is so much easier with this app. For creators especially, I believe there are many cases where you have to send and receive different files. So once you learn how to use this FileUp, you can manage files a lot better. So please give it a try and master it. By the way, there is a button called Connect to Server at the top left corner. This enables you to access your company's server, for instance. So for those who need this function, please keep in mind that there is a button that lets you do so at the top left corner of the screen. This will be the last 7th app, and that's called LumaFusion. LumaFusion is a video editing app for advanced users. It's quite expensive and it's around $36. Some of you may feel hesitant because of this, but this app lets you create amazing professional-like videos or videos that will be perfect for YouTube channel. Currently, I make my YouTube videos using an app called Premiere Pro. But when I create my videos for my iPadmate community, I use LumaFusion. It helps me work efficiently as I can just work on my iPad. I recently uploaded a video on introducing a variety of gadgets, and I also did a tutorial on how to use TikTok a little while ago. The response to that video wasn't that good. But anyway, in LumaFusion, you can also adjust the position of the screen. If you want to take videos vertically, you can place a preview like this. So this app is suitable for creating videos for maybe TikTok or Instagram stories. Not a lot of people use this method, but I would say you should give this a try. I've done tutorials for LumaFusion twice so far, where I talk about the use of it step by step for beginners to understand as well. So if you're interested in trying this out, please check them out. Okay, that's all about introducing you to the 7 apps that I highly recommend. What do you think? You do need to pay for most of them, but because they cost money, that means you can create whatever you want on them. You could of course download some new free apps and delete them once you don't like them to save the money. But I still suggest making a one-time purchase to stick to the one that fits your needs the most, rather than switching between different apps all the time. The total cost of the 7 apps I introduced today is almost $100. So you could invest $100 in a single purchase and create your creative artworks by making use of them. Since many of us are forced to stay home during this time, I hope you can engage in something creative and make the most out of staying home. I usually never make videos introducing multiple apps all at once, but I'm thinking of making more videos like this one if I receive some positive feedback. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching my video. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!